There are 5.8 million Americans living with Alzheimer's disease alone. That doesn't account for any of the other forms of dementia. And it's scary. I hear my friends starting to say, my dad was just diagnosed with Alzheimer's, or my gram is living with Alzheimer's. And people are starting to talk about what can we do as a society or as individuals to prevent some of this stuff. And I'll tell you one thing that's just super easy to remember. It's what's good for your heart is good for your brain. That's a really easy thing to remember. We all have a tendency to just kind of keep our breath kind of up here. So taking a deep breath and just kind of releasing some of that cortisol, that hormone that tends to keep the fat around the belly. Those are a couple really good tips. The other thing, I heard Teepa Snow speak here in Portland a couple of months ago, and she was talking about, as she travels the country and speaks to hundreds and thousands of people, that folks are always coming up to her and saying, well, I do Sudoku and I do this brain teaser game. And she said, well, that's great, but once you've done it a number of times and you start to get really good at it, your brain is kind of trained. So it's not necessarily about just doing the same thing over and over again. It's about mixing it up. It's about making changes in maybe the way you drive home. Instead of use maps all the time, try to remember, well, how do I get to that place that I've only been to once? And use your brain to figure these things out versus a computer. The other thing is try something that challenges you, that you've never done. For me, the thing that I've been doing lately is speaking. I'm not a speaker by trade, and it's been really challenging and nerve-wracking. It's taken a lot of time to practice, but it's a new thing for me. I'm developing a new skill. So those are a couple of tips that I think you can do to really start to improve your overall brain health as you age.